Hi, hello viewers, it's My Lemonade IAS Academy and today we are going to see about UPSC Civil Service exam pattern. UPSC Civil Service exam is conducted in many stages. There are many stages involved in UPSC Civil Service exam. So we will see what are the things which you should study in each stages and how you can clear those stages. The pattern in which UPSC Civil Service exam is conducted will be discussed in this video. The first stage of UPSC Civil Service exam is Prelims. So Prelims is the first stage, and if you are willing to write UPSC Civil Service exam, you will be writing Prelims exam. If you are qualified in Prelims exam only, then you can go for mains, and if you are qualified in mains, then you will finally go for interview, and this is how UPSC Civil Service exam is conducted. Okay, first let us see Prelims. In Prelims itself, you are going to have two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. In paper 1, it is a 200 mark test. For 200 marks, you will be writing for 2 hours and it is a MCQ type test. All the questions will have choices and you should select the right answer from those choices. So it has 100 questions, each question 2 marks. So there is also a negative mark which makes this test a little bit tough. The questions are majorly asked from history, geography, current affairs, polity, economy, environment, science and technology, etc. These are the topics in which Prelims paper 1 is asked. So you should go through all these subjects to get qualified in Prelims paper 1. So current affairs is the major stuff which you should focus in Prelims paper 1 because most of the questions will be related to current affairs. We can't say that it is purely from current affairs, but they will link most of the questions from current affairs. Say in geography there will be like they will ask question from Kashmir because nowadays there is more clashes going on Kashmir, right? So they may ask question from Kashmir based on geography. Say the location Akshay Chin is located. So based on that they may ask a question, but it is indirectly linked with current affairs. So you should give more focus on newspaper while preparing for the Prelims paper 1. Okay, then paper 2. The students who are appearing for prelims should undergo both the tests, paper 1 as well as paper 2. If you are writing only paper 1, then you are considered disqualified. You should clear both the papers to get qualified in prelims round. Okay, in paper 1 to get qualified, you should secure the cutoff which is required. So you will have a cutoff. Each year the cutoff may vary, but you should secure the cutoff which is required to clear the prelims paper 1. But in prelims paper 2, you don't need to secure any cutoff. It is just a qualifying paper. So you need to secure 33% marks or more to get qualified in the paper 2. Paper 2 is called Csat exam. They say it is Csat exam. It is also a 200 mark exam. It is also for 200 marks. It is also of MCQ type. It also has English comprehension. If you are good in English and maths, you can easily clear this paper 2. Paper 2 is not a big deal. While you are preparing for prelims, most of the time which you are preparing will be dedicated for paper 1. You may study for 10 months to 11 months for prelims, say. Then you will spend only 1 month for paper 2. That is enough to clear paper 2. You should have a basic idea on quantitative aptitude, logical aptitude, analytical reasoning, comprehension, and also some decision making problems can also be asked. But it is really simple if you are good in maths and English. So say you have cleared both the rounds. You have secured the cutoff which is required in paper 1 and you have also secured marks greater than 33% in paper 2. So you are qualified in prelims, right? So if you are qualified in prelims, then you will enter into mains exam. It will be conducted in a period of 3 to 4 months gap. They will conduct mains exam. The total mains exam total is 1750 marks. Out of this 1750 marks, you will have multiple papers. Say if you are preparing for your 12th exam, In 12th exam itself, you will have English paper, Tamil paper, Maths paper, botany, social. You will have multiple papers, right? Likewise, in mains also, you will have multiple papers inside it. There are 2 qualifying papers in mains round. One qualifying paper is English. English is one of the qualifying paper. You need to secure the mark which is required to qualify. Say the pass percentage. You should secure mark greater than pass percentage to get qualified in English paper. And you will have another qualifying paper which is language paper. Language is selected from the 8th schedule. Say some languages are included in 8th schedule. You should select a language from 8th schedule and you should write exam in that language to get qualified. Say if you are a Hindi candidate, you can select Hindi as the language paper and you can write the exam. And you should get qualified in that paper and it is enough. The mark which you have obtained in English and Tamil or Hindi or Kannadam or anything, the language paper is not counted while calculating the merit. While calculating the cutoff, the qualifying paper mark is not calculated, and also the mark which you have obtained in prelims is also not calculated while calculating the final cutoff. Okay, so 300 mark each. The English paper and language paper is of 300 marks each. Then you will have an essay paper. In essay paper, the essay paper is for 250 marks. You need to write only 2 essays. You will have 2 sections. In one section, you will have 4 options. You need to select one essay out of those 4 options and you need to write that. So, say the essay mark, one essay will have a mark of 125, right? You need to write just 2 essays. Then you will have an optional paper. There are 2 optional papers. In optional paper itself, you will have paper 1 and paper 2. So, 250 mark each. So, optional paper itself contain 500 marks. You need to select one optional paper. Say, sociology, psychology, geography. You need to select any of the optional paper which you are interested. You can select a language paper also as the optional. So, you need to select an optional paper. You need to select only one subject. Say, if you are selecting geography as your optional, paper 1 will also ask questions from geography. Paper 2 will also ask questions from geography. If you are clear in your optional subject, if you have great knowledge in your optional subject, then you can easily score high marks in this optional paper. Okay. So, then you will have GS papers. You will have 4 GS papers. GS paper 1, GS 2, GS 3 and GS 4. There are 4 optional papers. In GS 1, you need to study history, geography, society, art and culture. So, history, geography, art and culture, you need to focus. These subjects can be studied from basic NCERTs and you can also go for some standard books like Spectrum or something else. You can go for some standard books and study for GS 1. In GS2, you need to study polity, governance, social justice, international relations, etc. For polity, you can go for Lakshmikant book. You can also study NCERT, but NCERT is not sufficient for polity. For polity, you should definitely study Lakshmikant. For GS3, you should need to study economy, environment, science and technology, disaster management, etc. Science and technology, you need to focus more on current affairs. So, the technology which is emerging, the latest technology which is found, you need to study more from the current affairs for science and technology. For environment, you can go for Shankar IAS Academy book. And for economy, you can go for any book. I will suggest the book list in my next video. Then, for GS4, GS4 is one of the paper which you need to focus. In GS4, they will ask ethics, integrity, aptitude. It's a paper which tests your attitude and aptitude. It don't have a standard textbook. There are many books which are available for GS4, but it tests your personality more. So you should score more marks in all these papers to get qualified, to get the cutoff which is required. You need to focus on each and every paper. By studying a single subject, you can't clear all the papers. You can't clear the cutoff which is required, right? So you need to have a focus on all these papers. So in total 250,000. In GS itself you will have 1000 as the total. Optional paper 500, 1500. Essay 250, 1750. So you should have knowledge on how to write an essay for becoming an IAS officer. For clearing this UPSC civil service exam, you should have a knowledge on writing an essay. You should know aptitude, attitude, the ethics which is needed to be followed by an IAS officer, difference between ethics and moral, difference between need and want. Such types of questions can be asked in GS4. You need to have focus on all these types of things. So this is about mains. So you have cleared all these subjects. You have scored a great marks in mains. So you have cleared the mains exam, right? Then you are qualified for writing the last stage. Then you are qualified for appearing in interview. Interview will be conducted and they will ask some questions. Here they won't test your knowledge on these subjects. They won't test much on knowledge, because already they have tested in mains. You have sufficient knowledge to become an IAS officer. Now they are going to test your personality. The person who you are. Do you have the right attitude? Do you believe in right things? Do you have justice? Do you have honesty? They will test your personality more in this interview stage. And if you are good in that, the total marks which for the interviewer is allocated is 275. Only 275 marks is allocated for interview. For mains 1750. By summing up of mains mark and interview mark, the final cutoff mark 2025 is the final mark. Out of 2025, the mark which you obtain, based on that mark only, your final rank will be allocated. If you have cleared, then you will be allocated a rank. So based on that rank only, you can become an IAS officer, IPS officer, IFS officer, IRS officer, or railway service, or any services which you want to take. So let me say the cutoff which has been there for civil service exam 2019. 2019 for prelims, general category 98. Say 98 means out of 200, you need to secure at least 98% to clear the prelims stage. So 98 means I am saying for prelims paper 1. Paper 2, if you have secured 33% or more, then you are considered pass. So it is not counted in this cutoff, right? So you need to secure in prelims paper 1 greater than 98 or 98 or more to clear the prelim stage. So you have cleared. In mains, you need to secure 751 is the cutoff, which means for general category I am saying, I am not saying it based on OBC, SC or ST. I am not saying it for special persons. I am saying it for general category. You need to secure a mark of 751 or more, which means out of 1750, if you secure 751 or more, then you are considered mains pass. Then you will go for the final stage. In final stage, the total mark is 2025. Out of this 2025, you are securing 961 or more, means you are considered pass. But based on the mark which he has obtained, you will be given a rank. If you are given high rank, say rank 8, rank 9 or rank 20, 30, then you will have an advantage over other candidates who have passed, because you can select the service which you want, because there will be more options, like you can become an IAS officer, IPS officer or foreign service. You have more options, right? You can select the service which you want. So this is the advantage of securing high rank. Okay, so this is the pattern in which UPSC civil service exam is conducted. So this is what I have planned to say in this video. So this is My Lemonade IAS Academy. Subscribe to our channel. We will post contents that will be really interesting and that will be really useful for all UPSC civil service exam candidates. And if you are a person, if you are a UPSC civil service aspirant, then this video will be useful for you. And if you are planning to become an IAS officer, and if you don't know about how to become an IAS officer, then you can watch my first video. My first video will tell you things that you should know before starting your preparation, before choosing IAS as your ambition. So you can watch my first video as well. That is all for today. Thank you viewers. Subscribe. Bye.